Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance. Today is going to be a tool haul video. That's where I go over several tools that I picked up in the last little bit, or products, and just talk about where I bought them, how much they cost, why I bought them, those kinds of things. Not a review video, but if you see something in here and I don't discuss it enough, you can always ask questions down below or comment and say that you'd like to see a more in-depth review of something. If I can fit that in, I'd be glad to do that. So there's several things that I picked up recently. I also have the envelope here from Jersey Discount Tool Company. They had an envelope, type thing on, I think it was July 4th weekend, where they mail you out. It's a guaranteed thing that works with a vice grip, but it's also a chance to win some other things. I haven't opened it yet. We'll go ahead and open that during this video as well, see if I won anything, but let's go ahead and just jump into some tools. So the first thing that I picked up is from Spider Tool Holster. This is their drill pin, stainless steel. This came in a 1-pack, so I've always previously used these, and I've got a video for the plastic ones that come with the Pro holster and all those things like that. I've been using these. I really like them. And the big thing about these were, whenever I bought mine, they only come with 3 screws, and none of those are the ones that fit the M12 Surge, because the M12 Surge belt clip that comes on there, I mean, it's got a very small thread on the screws, so none of those ended up matching up, so I couldn't put a drill pin on that. Because of that, I've been using the Noster, and I really like the Noster on there. Of course, it's a lot bigger, hanging off the side and things like that. So I've been wanting to run a drill pin on it just to, try it and see how I liked it. So whenever I saw that the newer models come with the pin that actually works for the M12 Surge and the same, impacts of that generation, I decided to go ahead and just pick up a stainless steel one just because I like the look of it and to get mainly that screw. So I'm going to try this on there for a while. And if you're not familiar with the Spider drill pin, basically it works with their holsters. You can see as we look down in there, you've got this little latch right there that releases and opens up as you pull this up on the side. So if I slide that pin down in there, it goes past that, locks in until I basically flip this back up whenever I go to pull it out, let you bring it in and out freely. So I really like the security of it. There is some aspects of it, that I like the Noster better because this sits there and spins and things like that. But with that Noster, I haven't had a problem with mine on my M12 Surge because I've used this boot, and those little kind of teeth kind of dig into the boot and it makes it not spin. But I have had some people talk about how whenever you use a small screw with it, if you don't use Loctite and things like that, it ends up moving around on you quite a bit. So this might be the alternative for that, but I think all their newer drill pins, so unless you buy one and it comes from old stock, I think they are now providing the screw that works with this generation M12 Impact Surges and all those things. So you should be able to also get the plastic ones as well if that's what you prefer. I just got the stainless steel one because it's something I just like the look of. And again, this one run me $12, I think is what it was, as far as to pick that one up. But that's one of the first things that I picked up. So next up, I picked up the Wiltex, or Tex, I guess. I'm not sure how you say that. And this is their, let me see how they call it, nut and bolt thread gauge. It's a 26-piece set. I've been eyeballing some of these. Now this case is really cheap plastic, I can tell that. I've always used, something similar to this. I know they have boards basically that kind of have this, but I don't, I'm not usually working from like a toolbox, or I'm not working from a van or something where I'm always out there working and putting together and assembling things. I wanted something where I could just take this in, remove these, and take it to the actual maybe there's sometimes where I've got to get onto a bolt back inside of something that's more of a permanent thing. I can't really fit something like this back in somewhere, whereas I could take something like this and stick it into the place, thread it on. I just like this idea a little bit better. There's all the sizes that are included in it, so you want to see it again. There's 14 SAE and then also 12 metric for a total of 26 pieces. And basically, let me see, I've got a 1/4 20 here, but you can take, like, if I had a 1/4 20 bolt, you just basically sit here and go down through here until you feel one get tight. Well, that's 1/4 28. I can get it started, but it's not wanting to go. I go over to the 1/4 20 and I can check it out that way. So the labeling's on here, and then also the labeling is on the piece as well. And again, blue for SAE and red for metric. So if I wanted to check, now I know that's a 1/4 20, same thing on the nut. I can take it 1/4 20. I just like this a lot better than this. This doesn't really let you thread things on and be 100% sure. It just kind of gives you sizes. And again, I like this idea better than having a board where I have to, take the thing physically to it, because there's going to be times where I've got, again, something like this sticking out somewhere and I can't get out the fastener or the bolt, whatever it is. I can now take this to it and try it out and see if that's what it is. So that's why I picked this one up. I think it was on sale for $17.99. I checked it before I came out here to film. It's still on sale for $17.99. It had been in my watch list for a little while, like $25 or something like that. So that's why I went ahead and picked it up. And again, it's just going to be something that sits in my truck underneath the seat or something like that, not taking up a lot of room. But I'm interested if any of y'all have got anything like this that you feel is a better option. And they've got sets that, you know, are 40 piece and all those that go up to bigger sizes. I don't typically deal in big size fasteners. This is pretty much going to get me covered. And again, it was super cheap. I felt like it was decent for what it was. So that's another thing that I picked up here recently. Next up, we'll go ahead and open up the thing from JDTCO Tool Company. Again, this was an envelope that they were doing like a drawing during July 4th weekend. You bought this for $19.95, 20 bucks. You automatically for sure get this thing that works with a pair of vice grips, but there's a chance that you could win some other stuff too. I haven't opened it to see if I even want anything, so we're going to do that right now. And we'll pull out whatever's in here and see if we want anything. And right there is the Grip Buddy. That's what everybody was getting with it. And you can see in there, I don't have anything else in there. So I guess that means I didn't win anything. So what is this? The Grip Buddy Tool LLC. I don't know how much this costs. I'd have to look it up. Maybe I'll find it and I'll put it up here. I didn't check that beforehand because I didn't even think about it. So this essentially works on any pair of vice grips. I'm assuming that has to have this kind of thread. I actually have an old pair of vice grips here that I bought and haven't got cleaned up yet, and I think that this is the right one anyway, so I'm going to take this out. So instead of having just this small nub to grip onto, you take this out. Let's see if I can get that out all the way. Take out that right there, swap it with this, the Grip Buddy, and now it's basically like almost like having yourself a, I don't want to say it's a T-handle because it's not really a T-handle, but basically something more to grab a hold of whenever you're trying to twist that out. Having a hard time getting it started there. There we go. So that's going to let you do that a whole lot faster than sitting there trying to grab a hold of this little nub right here. So I didn't win anything, but it's going to be something useful. Again, I got to get this pair cleaned up. I got this used somewhere at a yard sale or something like that. But that's going to work out well, or maybe I've got a whole nother pair somewhere. I'll just have to look around at what pairs I use the most, and I think that's a pretty good idea right there. So you can still even grab it like this, but that's for sure going to be a lot faster. And once you start to want to tighten down something, it's definitely going to be a lot easier to be able to grab that and put some torque on it than having to get out a whole nother pair of pliers to put on just that knurling on this and try to get that locked down. But got that off JDTCO Tool Company. Again, I didn't purposely seek to buy this. I was just taking the risk and seeing if I could win something. But that's another thing that I ended up getting. Next on the list, I made a post about these one day, is the Irwin 16-foot tape measures. These were on sale on Amazon for $14. I think regular prices were $20. They used to carry these in my Lowe's. I didn't check to see. I couldn't find them on Lowe's.com, but they might have them at your local Lowe's. And I bought the 25-footers a while back. They were in a 2-pack on clearance at my Lowe's. And I've been using them for quite some time. In fact, this one's one that I put the Noster on. You know, speaking of that Noster, I really like them on my tape measures. But they've held up fairly well. I mean, they've got a little bit of wear on them as far as up in this area, as far as bending and things like that. But I mean, I have used this one quite extensively. It's pretty well worn in. This one's just been one's been sitting in my garage, and I've used it at home on some projects. But I really like the tapes. They're pretty stiff, but also you can just tell that they've got some coatings on them. Going to make them last. The 16-footer is exactly the same. Of course, I like 16-foot tapes just because they're a little bit smaller. Although, in all honesty, the 16-footer of this specific one isn't drastically smaller than the 25 whenever you look at them right there. But it's enough to make a difference, especially if you put them in a pouch or something like that. But again, the nice features on it are it is a double-sided tape. They seem to have pretty decent coatings on them. They hold up fairly well, in my opinion. I really like this aspect on all my tape measures now, where you can pull that out and then, you know, just keep setting your finger in place to hold it in the place where you want to, then let it go instead of having to sit there and lock it in and unlock it. So I picked up 2 of these. I think they're still on sale as far as when I'm making this video. They may be off sale now. They were $13.99 a piece, so I went ahead and picked myself up a couple of them. I go through tape measures like crazy. If you're anything like me, if I find them on sale for a good deal, I go ahead and buy them, and I've got them laying everywhere. But the Irwin 16-foot tape measures are also something that I picked up here recently. Next, I picked up the Vessel Hazel, or H-A-Z-E-L-L is what it is on Amazon Japan, but I think if you search it on like the US, it's H-A-S-E-L-L or something like that. But the part number on it is 238HW-2. And this was on Amazon Japan for a while. I've been looking at it, but I didn't want to pay the shipping. It finally came available on Amazon US for like $23. And it is a ball grip hammer type screwdriver. Again, it's made in Japan. You can see that right there. All the directions are in Japanese. If you want to, if you want to take the time to look at that, take a picture, and then go translate it if you want to. But in a nutshell, it is a kind of a tang through screwdriver, but it also has bits in it. These are just for reversing screws. So if you've got a screw that's stripped or whatever it is, that's what these bits are for. You can maybe see the teeth on that right there. They're made to hammer down in there and then twist out screws. I bought it just because I thought it was a really nice screwdriver. It also has some slop in it, but it's meant to do that. It has a spring in here as well, to where as you hammer on this, it kind of absorbs some of that in order to not be a problem. I didn't really have anything. I mean, really, this is meant to be in stuff in metal or something solid, so that when you hammer it, it digs into the screw. I looked around my house for a while trying to find something that I would be willing to tear up, and I just couldn't find anything. I did do some screws in some wood, and this screw right here I can still get in and out. Over here with that kind of strippage, I could take it in there and hammer it and it would grip and I could get it out. This one over here that I drilled out, I couldn't do it with this, even hammering it, but you can see I was knocking it down in the wood because it's just not meant to really do that. As you hammer into this wood, the fastener just wants to drive down in it, so your teeth aren't digging in as much as you can. But again, I'll put up maybe a clip of the video, or I'll put a link in the description of Vessel's actual video showing this in use. But you get the idea of it. I didn't buy it for that particular reason. I bought it because I like Vessel's tang through screwdrivers. These are my favorite screwdrivers, the ones I run all the time. But personally, if it was me and you just didn't want this one for the looks, I just bought it because I like the look of it, and I've been wanting to get myself one. And this bit you can actually just use in any of them, so you don't even necessarily have to have this screwdriver handle. I think they sell these bits separately in some different configurations, but this tang through right here, I actually like the way stuff fits in and out of it a little bit better than that of this one. You don't have near as much slop, but I just like the look of this one, so that's why I picked this one up. So this one was, again, $23 on Amazon US. I don't remember what it was with shipping if I was going to buy it on Japan, but that's why I haven't bought it yet. But if you're a person that runs into stripped out screws, I don't know that this performs any better than any other one that's out there, as far as if you've got some other brands other than maybe those teeth on it. I don't know if that's something that maybe some of those other ones don't have, but I didn't notice a significant difference in working with the screws that I had. Again, I just primarily bought this thing for looks. But the Vessel 238HW is just basically another tang through screwdriver handle that I picked up. It so happens to come with reversing bits to get stripped screws out, if that's something you're into. I bought it, again, primarily just so I can differentiate between different screwdrivers that I put in my bag. So if I take a certain bit holder and put in this one that's going to have, a ECX bit or something like that in it all the time, so I can make myself a dedicated tang through screwdriver. I can now know, well, my gray one is ECX number 2, and the black one here with the clear is also ECX number 1. That's why I ended up picking it up. It was just another option for me. Again, this one's much cheaper if you want to if you're looking for it just for a handle and you only need one handle, I would go with this one, but this one's just another option out there that I picked up here recently. So next up, I picked up this little swivel ratchet by Aries. This is the 42109. I've been wanting one of these for a while to try because so many of you all have the Vera Zyclops and the Guess the Trade videos that I've just been wanting to try one of these swivel head things like this and see if this is something I could get a lot of use of as a screwdriver. And normal price on these are $19.99. I picked this up on a deal for like $12 and some change, so that's why I went ahead and ordered one. They've got them in red and black and all those. Although I did mess up because I intended that the one I had in my wish list actually took driver bits, so I could have put like a Phillips number 2 in it directly and used it as a screwdriver, because I think that's more so how I'm going to end up using it. And again, it's a 90 tooth ratchet, so you've got forward and reverse switch, which is kind of hard to deal with, to be honest with you, but you do have that there as a ratchet. So I would have to take a 1/4 inch socket, put on there, and then put a driver bit in there and then use it like that, which puts my driver bit pretty far out. So I ended up not getting the right one. So they do have them that have a 1/4 inch socket head on it, and then they also have them that have a driver bit head on them. So if you wanted one of them, you need to make sure you get the right one. I would have preferred to got the driver bit, but this is the one I got. But pretty small as far as the length of it. Let me grab tape measure real fast. Overall length of it is basically, we're going to call it 4 1/4 inches. And again, it says it has a 90 tooth ratchet on it. See if you can hear it there. Not too bad. I don't know how much I'm going to use it. I just want, more than anything, like I said, I was wanting to try this swivel thing out. I'm probably going to end up just having to buy a Vera and just be done with it. There's enough of you that I've seen have it in your loadout videos that it's got to be worth having. If everybody's got one, there's a reason behind it, so I may end up still picking up one of those, but this is still another tool that I picked up here recently. And last but not least, I also bought this mud pan grip by Marshalltown. I always call this Marshmallow Town because I see marshmallow for some reason whenever I look at that. I don't know what it is. But this is a mud pan grip. Now, I have previously reviewed this USG sheetrock version. This is one of them I picked up. This one cost you $16 versus this Marshalltown one is only $9 if you buy that one on Amazon. But this one had some iffy reviews whenever I was looking at it, and I just went ahead and bought the USG one because that's typically the brand of all the drywall stuff I buy for the most part. And it works exactly the same. It's basically got some magnets on the back side here. I like this better than the pans that actually have the stuff on it because that's hard to clean sometimes. And you can move this from pan to pan if you use different size pans. Like this one's a little bit bigger. I think this is my 14 inch. But then I can just move it over to my 12 inch. I don't have to buy all different pans. And if you compare the two, that's why I got this one out. The USG one's just slightly bigger, but nothing to write home about. I don't see any difference. I don't see double the price difference anyways. And they work exactly the same. I'm sure they're going to hold up exactly the same. And again, you just take it, fold it on there. It wraps around your pan like so. And now you can stick your hand on that. It gives you some grip. Also, if you mix a lot of cold water, especially in the wintertime in places, sometimes that pan gets really cold. This helps keep your hand from touching that cold pan the entire time. Again, I got a review video for this, and everything I say about this is basically the same thing for this right here. It's just a little bit cheaper option, so I wanted to make sure and share it with you guys and let you know that was something else that I picked up here recently. So yeah, guys, that's my tool haul or tools that I've recently picked up. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried any of these, what your thoughts are on them. If you want more information about them, drop the comments down below. Again, I don't go in crazy detail in these tool haul videos. It's more so of where I bought them, how much they cost, you know, what's the main purpose of them, those kinds of things. But hope this video was helpful and interesting in some way. As always, stay safe. Have a blessed day. See you on the next video.